और 2013 से लेके 2024 तक only one question has been asked, meaning that 9 years there has been no question from the post independence. Then so this is what is the trend. To tackle the difficult paper, you have to be highly competitive. Then you have to be working hard and you have to have a plan. Then without plan, anyone will fail. Resources minimum रखो, बढ़ाओ नहीं, ठीक है? So just use the class 11th new NCERT themes in Indian history part 1. Read one book 10 times rather than 10 book one time. But you see the UPSC paper and on the basis of it, what has been left in the class notes, उसके notes बना लो, ठीक है? That's the note making strategy for all the 3. तो भी इस चीज को मत जाने दो कि आज का तो जो शेड्यूल है वो करके रहूँगा, ठीक है? So that counts in this exam, though it is not the most difficult exam, but this exam is the most, that exam which is demanding. Hard work यहाँ पे count करता है, तो that what makes you unbeatable.
Overwhelmed by the vast UPSC syllabus, it's time to transform that stress into strategy with our all-in-one GS Foundation course. Break down every subject from prelims and mains to CSAT and essay and demystify current affairs through PT 365 and mains 365. At VisionIAS Delhi, we are more than just educators. We are your mentors on the path to success. Here's how we empower your UPSC journey. Complete syllabus mastery. Get a step-by-step roadmap covering every topic you need to conquer the exam. Simplified current affairs. Stay ahead with sessions that turn complex news into clear, actionable insights. Tailored mentorship. Enjoy personalized one-on-one guidance to sharpen your strengths and overcome your challenges. Continuous progress tracking. Regular tests and detailed feedback ensure you are always moving forward. Your dream of joining the civil services is within reach. With our expert faculty and proven strategies, every lecture, every discussion, and every practice test is designed to build your confidence and competence. Batches starting from 4th March at 2 p.m., 25th Feb at 5 p.m., and 21st Feb at 11 a.m. at Karol Bagh, and 25th Feb at 6 p.m. at GTB Nagar. To know more, visit our website or call us on the given numbers.
Online classes offer convenience, but serious aspirants know that UPSC success demands structure, focus, and personal support, found only in physical classrooms. Classroom learning enables real-time interaction, ensuring no question goes unanswered. This immediate feedback fosters a deeper understanding and builds confidence. After-class interactions with faculty turns doubts into discussions and guidance into growth. These personal moments are the stepping stones to your UPSC success. Peer discussions in classrooms foster collaboration, critical thinking, and camaraderie, qualities essential for UPSC success. Classroom tests mirrors the intensity of the UPSC exam with real-time supervision and in-depth evaluations. Every test becomes a learning experience. Mock interviews in classrooms recreate the pressure of UPSC interviews. With constructive feedback, aspirants refine their responses and build confidence for the real test. A structured environment keeps you disciplined and focused. With fixed schedules and personal accountability, classrooms ensure you stay on track. Faculty members regularly interact with their peers, ensuring students get diverse perspectives on complex subjects. This enriches the learning process and keeps the curriculum dynamic and relevant. Classrooms don't just teach, they inspire. Step into the world with confidence and turn dreams into milestones.
So hi, very good morning. So I hope this is going to be the first session of yours in Institute, or you might have attended some other sessions also. So I hope you know the agenda of the today's session. That is basically that how to prepare GS for civil services examination. But moreover, there are many things, many dynamics which are changing in your preparation scenario. So we'll be adding the things related to the new dynamics in the preparation or new dynamics overall in the education sector. So any idea that what is the new dynamics in this one? Bhaiya, isko band kar dena, ye screen. So what is the new dynamics in overall education situation? Any idea? The use of the AI. And so we'll have a discussion on that also. But first of all, a small introduction about myself. So I'm Neeraj Rao, and one of the oldest faculty of this institute, though I may not look like then, but otherwise, so right from the inception of the classroom program, I am who is responsible for the section of the history, which includes ancient, medieval, modern, so as the art and culture, everything. And I'm also author of 2 books. So one book which is GS, that entire compendium of the GS, and another is just in front of you, that is my book on art and culture. Then, so it is published by the biggest publication house of US, John Wiley Publication. If you have studied in engineering college, so you must have seen these publication books. Then, so agenda, coming back to the agenda of the today's session is that mine one would be related to the history, art and culture, these all aspects. But before that, I just want to know that few questions to you. Can you tell me that who is Ajit Doval? National security. He was or he is? He was and he is. Okay, both. So in 2014, he was made the National Security Advisor. Then, and any idea about his background? That what is the background? IPS officer. Very good, exactly. And which cadre? Kerala cadre. Then, so he was IPS officer of the Kerala cadre, and he joined IPS services in 1968 in the Kottayam district of the Kerala. Then after he was on the central deputation. So can you tell some of his achievements in this duration? No, I'm asking achievements. Achievement does not mean that appointment to something. Wait for a minute, somebody else, you are not understanding the question. Okay? Don't take it otherwise. Then achievement is that what exceptional thing he has done in his life. Something exceptional. You all know, you also know. It's only that you need to understand the question. Exceptional in your memory, I would tell you that that Pulwama CRPF camp, okay, when the attack happened, so then after the strike, okay, so Balakot airstrike, and then after capture of Abhinandan, and then after release of Abhinandan, despite India bombarding Pakistan, okay, terrorist camps, and despite that with the diplomacy, he was able to get Mr. Abhinandan released. Then, now it is not the only thing, okay? There have been 15 incidents of the hijacking and 15 incidents of the Indian stranded in the different countries then, and in a difficult situation where there was no hope for them to get released. Then, for example, then when ISIL, okay, what is ISIL? ISIS, have you heard? Okay, that terrorist group of Levant. Levant area is basically Syria, Lebanon, Jordan. So 45 Indian nurses, they were stranded over there, and in what condition he got all of them released? They were all on the verge of getting death penalty. These are just few achievements which I'm telling you. The class is not about that, telling the achievements of the Ajit Doval. The point is that to bring to your attention that these are the rules. Possibly these are the rules that you will also be appointed to. And moreover, that in today's time, what we are able to see that in this digital generation, people are running after so much of digital entertainment that a good chunk of the people think that just reel making and then YouTubing will make them millionaire. And it's a false dream which has been inculcated in last 4-5 years. You know what is this realm? This realm is a lottery. And so this realm of the digital earning is a lottery. Only those win, those who have the luck on their side, okay? And moreover, obviously they have the strategy. But otherwise, how many people do earn a lot from it? Then not many, and very lesser income. But somehow it has pervaded in the mind of the people that they have forgotten. They have forgotten that they need to educate themselves. They need to educate themselves and they need to transform their personality, not just going into these type of things. So it is very important in today's time that there must be the people who are determined enough to go into the services, to serve the nation and impact the lives of the people in a big manner. So it was just one example I gave to you. So right now, abhi kuch hi mahine pehle, 1-2 mahine pehle, Saktikant Das, who was RBI governor, he was appointed as the principal secretary to the Prime Minister. Then, so Saktikant Das, he was Odisha born, but then he is Tamil Nadu cadre bureaucrat. He was IAS officer of 1980 batch. Then if I go with the example, PK Mishra, have you heard about him? Okay. He is also now very closer to the Prime Minister. So there are many many powerful, I would say, I'm using the word powerful, otherwise power is many a time indicative of the negative aspect. But then the powerful over here is that impactful bureaucrats are there who shape the policy and the many things of the country. So as a citizen of this country, it's not just about that you will be earning. Obviously you will earn what you need, but at the same point of time you have an opportunity to impact the life of the people and create a positive perception of this country. So a large number of the bureaucrats have played a vital role, and no way this steel frame of India is going to be diluted, and it will remain intact like this. So first of all, I want to congratulate you guys that you have taken a very first step, that you are going to prepare for the mother of all examinations. And I'll tell you with my own personal experience, and so as that I have been teaching from last 14 years, and I have taught almost in majority of the preparation towns of India, including all the South Indian states also, and then North Indian part also. So I have taught in Trivandrum, I have taught in Chennai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Pune, Jaipur, then Lucknow, Allahabad. These are the places, and Delhi was always my hub. So what I have seen, that this exam is not just about the success in the exam, but actually transformation of your personality. When you prepare this exam with your full heart and devotion, mark my words, your life will change. Okay? You will be a transformed personality. Success and failure are just a matter of time. But then what transformation happens in this examination, that will be remarkable in your life. So it's good that you have taken this step. And you know, one of the best satisfaction, I think you will agree with me, that whenever you are able to solve some difficult problems when you're studying, you are able to do something good in academics, so actually that gives more satisfaction than any other thing. So that satisfaction you must derive. And then your intellectualism is, it is there, but you need to use it. And that use will happen through this route. So let's start with these words. I have n number of the examples, maybe I'll be sharing with you later on when you meet on some other occasion. So we'll start with the preparation of history part then. So can I ask some questions that, do you have any idea about the syllabus of the prelims examination and mains examination, at least that history part? What is mentioned? So let me tell you, prelims examination, that there are 7 parts which are mentioned in the syllabus. 7 parts, that one is history of India and the national struggle, and then after comes the polity and the constitution, then another is your economics. So Indian economy, basically it is Indian economy, then polity, already I mentioned geography, फिर उसके अलावा science and tech, environment, and then current affairs, current events. So these are the major sections. But when you look at the prelim syllabus, so they have not mentioned much about कि क्या क्या है, ठीक है, that they have not elaborated. So for example, when it comes to history, so history में they have mentioned that history of India and the national struggle. So just one word, but not very much elaboration. So what it will include? So history of India will include ancient India, medieval India, and so as the modern India. But then where is art and culture? It is implicit in the history of India itself. That then comes एक और उसमें word mentioned है, that is basically national struggle. So a particular part of the Indian history or modern history is called as the national struggle, which means that freedom struggle part. Then comes the main syllabus. So main syllabus में you all know that 4 papers of the GS and 1 essay paper and 2 papers of the optional, 1 optional with 2 papers. So this would be the scenario. In GS paper 1, the very syllabus, first part of the syllabus, what it is mentioned, art and culture of India. Then so art and culture of India, and then it mentions that various art forms, architecture, language and literature of India. So now in the mains examination they have elaborated little bit more that various art forms of India. Then comes the modern syllabus in sequence. I am telling you that what has been mentioned. So modern syllabus, in modern what they have mentioned, 2 parts of the modern syllabus they have mentioned. First they have mentioned history of India from the middle of the 18th century and significant personalities, their contributions and significant events. So this is the first part. So what is the middle of the 18th century? 1750 onwards. And what are the significant events? Some of the wars like Battle of Plassey, Battle of Buxar, then like this way, then Anglo-Maratha War, Anglo-Mysore War. So these kind of things which are there in that first part. Then basically the first part is all related to the Indian regional kingdoms and so as the British or European companies' interventions. Fine. Then comes the second part. Second part says that freedom struggle of India. Then so freedom struggle, basically one part of the Indian freedom, Indian modern Indian history is the freedom struggle. And in this freedom struggle, they have further said that various phases of the freedom struggle. So what is various phases? Phases may, in general, the division could be violent phases and non-violent phases. So for example, those which were associated, mostly associated with the Gandhi, were violent or non-violent. Then non-violent, and associated with the revolutionaries like Bhagat Singh, Rajguru, Sukhdev, okay? So that is violent. So then 2 bifurcations would be there, and then you read about that what are the non-violent movements and what are the violent movements. Then so, and then in this part they have further added that important contributors and their contributions from the different parts of the country. So is part may also they have added that who are the important contributors and their contributions. So this is the part of the syllabus till modern. But mains examination may you have 2 more parts of the history, post independence and world history. ठीक है? तो world history, let's understand. पहले world history समझते हैं कि what is there in the syllabus. So in the world history, they are not asking from the ancient times. They are not asking from the medieval times. They are asking about the modern world history. ठीक है? So they are asking about the modern world, and modern world how it was created from the formation of the nation states. ठीक है? So nation states, and what is the background? So industrial revolution से syllabus start होता है. So first country to go through industrial revolution was Britain. And then after the many other countries in the Europe like Germany, okay, like France, and then after Japan has also gone into the industrial revolution, and so has the American Revolution and Italy's unification. So these are the topics which will be there in the world history. Uske alawa, okay. So this is the first part, that industrial revolution and emergence of the nation states. Second part of the world history syllabus is World War I and World War II. Okay. So World War I and World War II, this is what is the second part. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री का सिलेबस भी पूरा बहुत वाइड है. आई होप कि हिंदी से इशू तो नहीं है. तो वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री सिलेबस इज नॉट सो वाइड, इट इज लिमिटेड, द मॉडर्न वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री. Then comes the post-independence. Then, so post-independence is basically after India's independence, the scenario in the country. Then, so post-independence part, they start from the integration of the princely states. Then, that there were 565 princely states at that time of the India's independence. So these 565 were to be integrated into the Indian Union, and 289 got integrated into Pakistan. तो ये यहाँ से start होता है, but tribal challenges, फिर उसके बाद then different governments like कि जवाहरलाल नेहरू जी के टाइम पे that what were the 5-year plans, their impact, and then after India-Pakistan war, India-China war, then moving on to Indira Gandhi's period. Then so Indira Gandhi's period, there was a demonetization at her time also, then emergency, then uske baad, then JP movement, then we talk about JP movement के बाद fall of Janata Dal, arrival of the Indira Gandhi, then Operation Blue Star. What is Blue Star? Jallianwala, sorry, that Golden Temple. Yes, Golden Temple. So Golden Temple, Amritsar, and then, then after her death, उनके डेथ के बाद राजीव गांधी कमिंग विद द थम्पिंग मेजॉरिटी. वैसे एक फैक्ट बताऊंगा दैट टिल दिस डेट द हाईएस्ट नंबर ऑफ द सीट्स इन द लोकसभा हैव बीन won by Rajiv Gandhi. Okay, more than 400. If I'm correct, so it is 434. Out of 545 seats, then 434 was his count. Then, but dekho that this is democracy. Things change very fast. The person who came with the 434 thumping majority did not got even 200 seats in the next elections. Then, so then next elections, and then there is a kind of doldrum in the Indian politics. So वो time ऐसा था कि VP Singh, ठीक है? Then उसके अलावा I hope you know Chaudhary Charan Singh, ठीक है? Then बलिया वाले what is his name? So I'm just forgetting his name. Then there were many other things, and this Mandal Commission report, ठीक है? जिसके बाद then withdrawal started. So these all things are happening, and उसके बाद coming arrival of the government of the PV Narasimha Rao, and then LPG reforms. So liberalization, privatization, globalization in 1991, and continuing till, ऐसे तो मैं count करते रहूँगा, तो कारगिल, ठीक है? Then वाजपेयी जी's government, कारगिल, फिर then from here, but अभी तक भी हम उसको count कर सकते हैं. तो these will be the parts which will be coming in the post-independence. Moreover, post-independence में एक और चीज़ याद रखना, that there was a Cold War era from the world history scenario, ठीक है? So, but Cold War era, what is Cold War era? Russia and US fight, ठीक है? So they are proxy wars, and these proxy wars, what was the impact on the different parts of the world then? So just like अभी के time पे you will have to be little bit on toes, because that the war which is happening in the Israel and Palestine, and so as the Russia and Ukraine, and उसका भी impact क्या पड़ रहा है? Now अभी if you are able to note it down, that arrival of the Trump and what has happened all over the world, when he has announced the tariffs, ठीक है? That counter tariffs, that whatever you will impose, I will impose, and thereafter there is a bloodbath in the stock market scenario. So at least इतना तो पता चल रहा हो कि अभी तो stock market India का बहुत down है, or in fact all over the world. So this will also be counted in the post independence. Then now before moving ahead, that what's the things I would be suggesting to you, उसके पहले I just need to tell you that the number of the questions which are asked from this section. तो prelims से लेके mains तक. Then तो understand, post-independence and world history is only mentioned in the main stage of exam. You don't need to read these two sections in the prelim stage of examination. So prelims में क्या क्या पढ़ना है? Ancient, medieval, ancient history, medieval history, modern history, and art and culture. तो ये चार portions you will be asked, that questions would be there from this section. Now let's look at the number of the questions which are asked from this section. तो मैं I will start from 2011 basically. Why I have chosen 2011 years as a marker prelims examination के लिए, क्योंकि उसके पहले before that, before 2011, the system of exam was basically prelims में there were optional paper and there was one GS paper. Optional paper was 360 marks and GS was 120. So till 2010 people were not preparing GS. People were just preparing their optional. Objective paper used to be there because questions are 120 and marks are 360. So if you have prepared your optionals well, you can clear the prelims exam. Okay? So that was the scenario in the prelims before it. Then, but 2011 syllabus changed and GS paper with 100 questions, and then your CSAT paper with the 80 questions. Okay? So this is what was introduced. But इसमें भी कोई change, if you know what happened? 2014. Okay? So till 2014, CSAT was added in the score. Then from 2015 onwards, it is only GS which became the which was used for the merit making purpose. And CSAT के साथ क्या हुआ? It became qualifying paper, meaning that you need to score 66.66 marks in the CSAT. Then, so this is what happened. Now, so 2011, that's why I'm taking that 2011 onwards, GS became important, and 2015 onwards, GS became most important. Because GS के basis पे ही तुम्हारा prelims clear होगा, ठीक है? And you just need to qualify the CSAT paper. So when I start from 2011 arts तक, तो I'll use just give me 1 minute. Done. तो अभी तक from history section in prelims examination, history section in prelims examination, what all things are there. तो ancient, medieval, modern and so as the art and culture. तो total number of the question from the history, average number is 17. So 2011 से लेके 2024 तक 14 years are there, and in these 14 years average number of the question is 17. Then from the history part, which includes ancient, medieval, modern and art and culture. Then understand. So in this part I'll do give you subdivisions also. So subdivisions एक बार देखते हैं. So 17 is the average. फिर and out of how much? 100 questions. 100 में से 17 for this section. Then give me 1 minute. So when it comes to ancient history, ancient, then medieval, then modern and art and culture. Fine. So overall, the number of the questions from ancient and medieval section, from this section, have been, average number is 4. Okay? So average number of the question from ancient medieval is 4. Modern say average number of the question from these all years have been 6.5. Okay? And average number of questions from art and culture is 6.5. Okay? So this is what is last 14-year trend कि मॉडर्न और आर्ट एंड कल्चर बराबर नंबर के क्वेश्चंस, एंशिएंट एंड मेडिवल में 4 क्वेश्चंस. देन मोर ओवर देर इज अ मोर वेटेज टू एंशिएंट इन दिस. ठीक है, तो एंशिएंट क्वेश्चन कम्स अराउंड 1.5 एंड मेडिवल के क्वेश्चन कम्स अराउंड एंशिएंट 2.5 and medieval comes around 1.5. Then so these are the number of the questions which are there. Then apart from it, I need to tell you the maxima minima also. You understand what is maxima minima? That किस year में कम number of questions थे, and then in some year there were maximum number of questions. So as far as the history section is concerned, its minimum number of the questions were 13. ठीक है? So minimum number of questions were 13 and maximum number of questions are 23. ठीक है? तो it means कि 13 के नीचे नहीं गया है, ठीक है, और 23 के ऊपर नहीं गया है. So 1 year it was 23 question and there was 2 year actually जिसमें 13 and next year 14 was the question. But otherwise 15, 16 every year, 15, 16, 17, 18 is the normal number. Then after this part, so this is the prelim scenario. Let's move on to the mains part. Then so mains में देखते हैं कि in mains examination from the same sections how many questions have been there. So mains examination, when it comes to history part, so as I mentioned to you that it will include additional part of world history and post-independence also. But when it comes to questions, so questions are majorly from art and culture and the modern Indian history. Okay? So mains में in general, how many questions are there in the paper 1? 20 questions. ठीक है? सिर्फ एक साल ऐसा था जिसमें 25 questions थे, that is 2013. But उसके बाद से they have made it 20 questions. ठीक है? So even till this day they are asking 20 questions. हो सकता है कि in some of the questions there are subdivisions A, B, then, but otherwise 20 questions are asked. So when it comes to modern Indian history, so from modern Indian history, the average number of the question has been 3.5. ठीक है? 3.5 in examination and each of the question will be 12.5 marker. ठीक है? 12.5 marks का. Similarly, art and culture, ठीक है? So if I go by the last 11-year paper, it is also 3.5, ठीक है? But पिछले 7 साल के पेपर में there has been little bit more questions from art and culture. Then, तो obviously उसकी वजह भी है. What is the reason? That basically there is a major focus on the many cultural things. Then, and I hope you already know that many cultural things, for example, इस year expect कर सकते हैं जो लोग exam दे रहे हैं कि there would be more questions because Mahakumbh something of big nature has happened. And so art and culture questions have increased in last 7 years, but otherwise पिछले 11 साल का देखें तो constant है, ठीक है? 3.5. Then what about the world history? So average number of the question from world history has been just one question. ठीक है? तो every year you will get at least मतलब कभी ऐसे किया है कि एक बार 2 क्वेश्चन पूछ लिया, नेक्स्ट ईयर देयर इज नो क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम द वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री. सो दिस ऑल्सो दे हैव डन दैट. सम ईयर्स देयर आर नो क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम द वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री, बट इन जनरल overall 1 question every year average. Then comes post independence. Then so post independence is the section which was least asked section in the mains examination, and till this date in 11 years total 5 questions have been asked. अभी तक ये पूरा काउंट बता रहा हूँ, ठीक है. तो इसका मतलब कि 11 साल में its possibility is less than 0.45 question, ठीक है. It means that कि 2-3 years सिनेरियो बता रहा हूँ. वेरी फर्स्ट ईयर इन 2013 4 क्वेश्चंस वेर आस्क्ड फ्रॉम पोस्ट इंडिपेंडेंस, और 2013 से लेके 2024 तक ओनली 1 क्वेश्चन हैज बीन आस्क्ड, मीनिंग दैट 9 years there have been no question from the post independence. Then so this is what is the trend is very important for you to know. Then so these are the sections of the history. Now let's start with the, as I mentioned to you that we will be discussing about that what all sources to refer for these all sections, okay, and moreover a little bit of idea also that what is mentioned in these topics. So ek to syllabus discussion already I have done, but ancient medieval we haven't done. So when it comes to, so let's start with the ancient medieval part then. So I'm starting with the ancient medieval part. As far as the syllabus is concerned, syllabus is of your ancient medieval, if you look at it, so it will start from the prehistory. What is prehistory? Stone Age period. Then so Stone Age period, that Stone Age in India, Paleolithic, Mesolithic and Neolithic. So you study about it. Then uske baad then after the Stone Age, ancient history goes into the study of the Indus Valley civilization. Indus Valley civilization ke baad the major themes are Vedic period. After the Vedic period is divided into 2 parts, early Vedic and later Vedic. Then comes the Mahajanpad age. So Mahajanpad age, 16 Mahajanpad, in which the most powerful Magad. Then you read the history of Magad, various dynasties which were there in the Magad, then those who have ruled. फिर उसके बाद then after the Magad part, that various dynasties starting from the Haryanka dynasty. फिर उसके बाद that after Haryanka is the that Shashanag dynasty, Nanda dynasty, Maurya dynasty, and Maurya के बाद post Maurya period. So in post-Maurya period, many foreigners are attacking on India. They are also carving out some sort of space for themselves, like Indo-Greeks, Kushanas, Parthians, and so as the Shakas. Then, so these are the outsiders who have invaded India and they have established their kingdom. But there are the Indian kingdoms like Satavahanas, Kanavas, so Sungas. So their history also you read. On one hand, you are reading these all. On the other hand, in South India, there is a development. There is the emergence of 3 dynasties, Chola, Chera and Pandyas. So that you read. Then uske baad, so Chola, Chera, Pandyas in South India, and then in India, the North India part, Satavahanas, Sakas and Kushanas, and then so as the Kanavas, and Sungas. So these are ruling. After end of their rule in North India, there is a major change, emergence of the Guptas. Then, so emergence of the Guptas, and Guptas are going to rule for more than 300 years. And then in South India, what is continuing? Chola, Chera, Pandyas, their rule is continuing. 6th century AD aate tak, Guptas, they are disappearing, they are replaced by Harshvardhan, Pushyabhuti dynasty. And in South India, there is an emergence of 2 new dynasties, Pallavas and Chalukyas. Then after the end of the Harshvardhan's rule, there is the emergence of 3 new dynasties in North and Central India. They are called as Pal, Pratihar and Rashtrakoot. And in South India, emergence of 1 more dynasty, mainline Chola dynasty. So mainline Chola dynasty tak, we call it ancient India. So these are the topics that you are going to study in the ancient part. What about the medieval? Medieval is very crystal clear, Delhi Sultanate, Mughal period. But iske alawa, there are many regional kingdoms during the Delhi Sultanate and Mughal period. So you actually, when I was telling you that ki medieval se 1.5 questions hai, तो इस 1.5 में 1 is related to the regional kingdoms of India, and the most important is the Vijayanagar kingdom. But Vijayanagar was not the only kingdom, but there were regional kingdoms like Kakatiyas, then there are the Rajput rulers of the Bundelkhand, Rajput rulers of the Delhi, so many Rajput rulers, their history. So this will come under the medieval part. Or Delhi Sultanate में 5 dynasties, which are those? Slave dynasty, Tughlaq dynasty, slave, फिर खिलजी, फिर तुगलक, then Sayyid and Lodhi. And Mughal is just one dynasty which starts from 1526 to 1707. That Mughals, so starting from the Babur, Humayun, Akbar, Jahangir, Shah Jahan and Aurangzeb. So 1707 is the death of Aurangzeb, and then after 1707 is considered as modern. So 1707 के पहले whatever you are studying that comes under as according to the syllabus is basically your ancient and medieval. 1707 onwards is the modern. Then, so let me ask you a few questions. कि how many of you have already started preparation? मतलब you are referring something. कुछ पढ़ रहे हो? मतलब anything? And particularly for this section? हाँ, एक है, ठीक है? हाँ हाँ, ठीक है, okay. And any of you? तो what plans do you have कि मतलब ancient या medieval के लिए मैं ये मान के चलता हूँ कि अभी you are not going, मतलब you are not enrolled anywhere. If I'm correct, you're not enrolled in any coaching or somewhere. तो I'm just considering that कि अपने end से कैसे पढ़ोगे, ठीक है? तो I would be very practical in this regard. See that, as I said to you, na, that dynamics of this preparation has changed. Dynamics of this preparation has changed, and what the exam used to be few years back, it is no more the same. Then, and in other words, I would say, because of the arrival of the AI, competitiveness has increased. You have to be highly competitive then, because the nature of the questions will also change. Difficult nature of the questions would also be there. I don't know you have idea or not, but just need to tell you about the cutoff marks also in prelims examination. See that the highest cutoff 200 marks में से जो cutoff थे, highest cutoff was in 2016, that is 116 marks, which is coming around 58%. Then after that there is a steady decline in the cutoff marks. Then so after that 2016 exam, the cutoff came below 100. So next year it was 98, then uske next year it was 98, then 96, 92, 92, then 89, 85.34, then what is the cutoff last year? 76, 76. And 76 is how much percentage? 38%. So 58 say 38%. What it is indicative? Paper has become tough. Paper has become tough, and in this scenario, you have to be highly competitive. But I would say one thing to you, being a teacher of this industry from very long time and a keen observer, see that people who are actually devotional to their studies, then they are hardworking. For them, the tough paper is always favorable. Okay? If you have a kind of that plan that how you are going to study, and you are studying on a regular basis with devotion, with no fallout का मतलब कि बीच में ही motivation खत्म हो गया और छोड़ के चले गए, तो उसकी तो कोई बात ही नहीं है, ठीक है? But then if your motivation is intact, so then it is good for you that tough papers must be there, because in easy papers there are the people who get selected जो maybe result खराब कर देते हैं, ठीक है? तो for you it is important, but then to tackle the difficult paper, you have to be highly competitive. Then you have to be working hard, and you have to have a plan. Then without plan, anyone will fail. Not just you, but me, everybody will fail. So you have to have a plan that how you are going to approach it. So just coming back to the part of the ancient, since the exam has changed, and one more thing you have to take into the consideration, that many a times history is the travesty of the polity. What do I mean by this? That there is always a tinkering with the history. It's not like कि पिछले 10 साल में हो रहा है, ये पिछले 100 साल, पिछले 200 साल, 300 सालों से चल रहा है. तो history, some parts of the history gets changed when the new regime comes to power. Then, and moreover, ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि previous part में कुछ हटाया गया हो, इस part में कुछ include कर दिया गया हो, तो history में inclusions होते रहते हैं. Moreover, there are the some aspect which needs more research in the history. So in the past, research were less. In the present, more research are there.
The UPSC Personality Test, your final challenge before becoming a civil servant. Are you prepared to face the panel with confidence? At VisionIAS, we ensure you step into your interview fully prepared with our personality development program. Decode Def with expert insights. Mock interviews with ex-bureaucrats. current affairs sessions for a competitive edge, elocution training to enhance communication. Learn from UPSC toppers and serving officers. Their real-world experiences will shape your strategy for success. Personalized mentorship and performance feedback ensure you fine-tune every aspect of your preparation. This is your moment to shine. Prepare, practice and perform. Admissions open for UPSC Mains 2024 qualified students. Preparing for UPSC prelims? Struggling with accuracy, time management and unpredictable question patterns? Introducing the All India General Studies Prelims Test Series with Sandhan, designed to sharpen your exam strategy. Experience real exam-like conditions and gain in-depth performance insights. What makes this test series unique? Personalized test creation, choose topics, difficulty levels and timing. 25,000 plus high-quality questions cover static and dynamic areas effectively. AI-powered performance analytics identify strengths and improve weak areas. One-on-one mentoring, get expert guidance for smarter preparation. All India ranking and comparative analysis, know where you stand nationally. Enhance your preparation, gain confidence, master UPSC Prelims 2025 with Sandhan. Enroll today and take Smartest step towards your UPSC success. Test series start on 9th March. Build confidence and reduce exam anxiety to score well in the optional papers with thorough practice. Regular practice not only helps in developing efficient time management strategy but also enables aspirants to allocate adequate time to different sections and questions, thus enhancing their overall performance. Opt for the All India Optional Test Series 2025 by VisionIAS and secure a high score with features such as mock test based on UPSC exam format, attempt full-length tests in a simulated setup covering all aspects of optional subjects. In-depth assessment and feedback, receive detailed performance insights. Personalized one-to-one mentoring, get dedicated support for performance improvement and time management tailored to meet your specific needs. Flexible test schedule available in both offline and online modes. Schedule tests as per your requirement. Available for subjects: anthropology, geography, Hindi, history, sociology, political science and international relations, philosophy. Test series start on 9th March.
So, I would always recommend to mix your preparation if you're going with the normal resources, one old NCERT and one new NCERT. That's what I was trying to say. My purpose was this only, that don't neglect new NCERTs and at all, because it will be lethal. So for example, that as he said, I also say to the students that you go for ancient history, you go with the R.S. Sharma. Okay? It is a class 11th NCERT and moreover, just give me 1 minute. So class 11th NCERT of ancient India. But understand, Book of Ramsaran Sharma, this was published, first publication in 1979. Okay? Abhi kya date hai? It is 2025. So almost 46 years. We are studying after almost 46 years. Then, and if I have to tell you something about the Indus Valley, so Indus Valley discovered in 1921. Okay? When India's independence happened, majority of the sites of the Indus Valley went into Pakistan. ठीक है, फिर उसके बाद इंडियन गवर्नमेंट ने इंडिया में एक्सकेवेशन स्टार्ट किया एंड द मेजर डेवलपमेंट्स इन इंडिया स्टार्टेड रिलेटेड टू इंडस वैली स्टार्टेड टू कम आफ्टर 1986. बट ये किताब उसके पहले की है देन, तो ऑब्वियसली न्यू इन्फॉर्मेशन वुड नॉट बी देयर देन, तो यूज इट, ठीक है, एंड यूज अ न्यू एनसीईआरटी फॉर द अपग्रेडेड इन्फॉर्मेशन. Got it? तो न्यू एनसीईआरटी में, दिस इज क्लास 11th ओल्ड एनसीईआरटी, न्यू एनसीईआरटी में यू विल बी यूजिंग क्लास 11th, नो 6, 7th, 8th, नथिंग इज रिक्वायर्ड, ठीक है? रिसोर्सेस मिनिमम रखो, बढ़ाओ नहीं, ठीक है? सो जस्ट यूज द क्लास 11th न्यू एनसीईआरटी, थीम्स इन इंडियन हिस्ट्री पार्ट 1, ठीक है? सो थीम्स इन इंडियन हिस्ट्री पार्ट 1, गॉट इट? देन कमिंग टू द medieval हिस्ट्री. So medieval history is basically it is also class 11th old NCERT, and this NCERT was written by Satish Chandra. तो ये old NCERT है class 11th की, Satish Chandra, and this you use. Now इसके अलावा in the new NCERT you will be using class 11th Themes in Indian History Part 2. So Themes in Indian History Part 2. Then so this is what about the ancient and medieval history. कि इसमें 2 किताबें पुरानी and 2 किताबें नई, and beyond it please don't read any other thing, ठीक है? One more thing I need to tell you कि हाल फिलहाल में पिछले 5 से 6 साल में, ठीक है, when I look at the questions, so some of the difficult questions of the ancient and medieval are from the that they are asked from a particular book, which is a Delhi University professor's book, Upinder Singh. I don't know you have heard about her or not. She is daughter of our ex-prime minister Manmohan Singh ji, then, and she is a professor emeritus, then, that very high quality of teaching she has received, and so as she was one of the best professors, recognized professors from the Delhi University. But then her book is for the history optional. एक दो क्वेश्चन उनसे डिफिकल्ट पूछा है, बट फॉर दैट 1-2 क्वेश्चन I would never recommend to you to run after those big books, ठीक है? Because that will be wastage of your time. You always have to be very particular about that cost benefit analysis. That 4 क्वेश्चन के लिए 2500 पेजेस पढ़ने के लिए I would never prescribe. And in this, ठीक है, out of 4 questions, if you are going with these material and then some additional good class notes also, तो 4 में से 3 हमेशा सॉल्व कर ले जाओगे. एक क्वेश्चन होगा जो डिफिकल्ट होगा. Obviously when the cutoff is low, it is indicative that it is difficult. So don't run after that. Don't make yourself a fool, because you know the one trick to clear this exam, which I have seen with all the toppers, they all say one thing, कि प्लेटफॉर्म पे आके वो कुछ भी बोलें, बट इन जनरल, ठीक है, इन देयर स्टडी रूम्स दे हैव फॉलोड अ पॉलिसी ऑफ दैट read one book 10 times rather than 10 book one time. And I'll tell you one friend of mine who got rank 51 way back, ठीक है, and his strategy. So his strategy I'm just sharing that just before 1 month of the exam, if this is the book, ठीक है, तो what he will do कि 1 month, जैसे इस बार 25th of May को एग्ज़ाम है, तो he will be in month of the mid of the April, what he will do that he will take a that वो पेंसिल वाला होता है ना, what is that, what you call it, that pencil cutter, then so he will use a knife like thing, and then he will start removing pages from his book. So now whatever be the number of the pages, the book comes around this much, ठीक है, या this much, ठीक है, and rest of the pages what he has done that he will tear it off everything and then he'll put into the dustbin. So I was like, what you're doing, dude, Dan, that this is a costly book and then you are just tearing it off and then you're just that wasting it. So then he says that actually I'm going to make sure that I don't fall in any kind of trap. So I asked him that what kind of trap you are referring to. So he said that, see, that I'm just retaining those pages which I have studied. And in this last 1.5 month, if I go through this book, if I find that this page I haven't studied, so my mind will say to me that you haven't studied, इसमें से question आ गया तो, and so I just need to avoid it. What I have studied, I will revise. What I haven't studied, उसको फेंक दूंगा. तो I asked to him कि what if इस साल तुम्हारा मान लो चलो prelims clear कर लिया, mains हो गया, ठीक है, and then you are not going to clear after the mains examination. तो he said कि जहाँ इतने पैसे लगा के दिल्ली में रह रहा हूँ, एक किताब और खरीद लूँगा. So it was his second attempt only in which he got the 51st rank. Then And first attempt में he was there till the interviews when I have asked this question, but I understood the strategy that read less book more number of the time rather than more book less number of the time. That is not going to help you. And I remember that he only used to say to me that I have come here to become district collector, not the book collector. Then so it echoed with me then that it is the reality. So किसी भी सब्जेक्ट में, अभी आगे और भी सेशंस होंगे इसके बाद, so किसी भी सब्जेक्ट में don't increase your number of books. And you know this old Rajendra Nagar market is very enticing. Once you go into the market na, so then you just feel attracted to the good pages और जिसकी फोटोकॉपी अच्छी है, then तो if it is clean तो we are like अरे देखने में तो बहुत clean लग रहा है, चलो खरीद लेते हैं. But you don't know that what kind of pressure it is going to act to your mind when you're keeping it on your table and you're not studying it. The things will pile on and then you will be very burdened. I have literally seen the people that who have gone with very less material but in the top 10 rank then, and their only strategy was to improvise with the existing material. So keep it in mind then, so don't make it a very big and bulky thing. Then coming back to the next part, that modern Indian history book list, ठीक है? तो modern Indian history में anything that you will suggest to me, suggest क्या? मतलब you will tell that कि what you are feeling okay, which book is okay, what material is okay. Which one? Spectrum. How many are already मतलब planning for purchasing Spectrum or purchased? देखो, I would never say that it's a bad book. देखो, history is a static portion. किसी भी book में अगर जो 1942 Quit India movement is mentioned, so events will not change, obviously. Whatever that has happened, that only will be written. So in a way, in the modern Indian history book, you just need to pick one book, ठीक है? Whichever guidebook. Here, I'm not emphasizing on your NCRTs. Then, इसमें I would rather say ना that you can avoid NCRT. If you want, you can avoid NCRT. If you are preparing at your own, so you can go with one guidebook. Then, but then I would recommend better book, ठीक है? And it's not my written book, ठीक है? But it is that Vision's publication house book, which is not a material of the classroom program also. It is a material which you purchase. Then, so there are 3 books of the modern of the Vision's publication house. Then, and if you go with that, that's a beautiful book. मतलब last year it was released, and it's much better than all the guidebooks which are available. So I will give you option. इस option में से एक ही खरीदना, ठीक है? Only one. So if you're going with the Spectrum, go with it. ठीक है? Fine. Then उसका दूसरा option क्या हो सकता है? कि दूसरा option is basically the big book of Bipin Chandra. What is big book? That Struggle for Independence, Bipin Chandra, which has 5 more writers in it, and moreover it is Penguin publication. So publication लिख लो. तो ये दोनों किताब में से कोई एक लेना, दोनों नहीं. Not at all required, ठीक है? But question is that in the Bipin Chandra's book, समझना इस बात को, the story starts with 1857. Rest of the things are not mentioned. Then, so for that, अगर जो Bipin Chandra खरीद रहे हो, तो then you have to go with one NCRT, that is old class 8 NCRT. And this old class 8 NCRT was written by Arjun Dev. Then, so Bipin Chandra combined with this, I consider as a best option. ठीक है? तो Spectrum single, but then if you have to ask me कि best option क्या है, तो I would say कि this NCRT and the Bipin Chandra would be the best option. No other book I will prescribe to you. ठीक है? In this. तो दोनों में से देख लो. And if you don't want to go with this, so then you can go with the Vision publication book. That is also optional. ठीक है? तो वो I don't think that कि market में तो book sellers पे नहीं मिलता है. Vision के website से order करना होता है. But then you can ask for it, that so that मैं एक काम करता हूँ. What I'll do that by the time my session is getting over, तो उस किताब को यहाँ रखवा देंगे. ठीक है? जब भी जो बीच में faculties का break हो रहा है ना, तो you can see the book. ठीक है? Satisfy yourself with that and then you can go with. So इन तीनों के बीच में से decide कर लो, but don't purchase all of them. Limit it to the only one source. So combined source, Arjun Dev and Bipin Chandra. This I would prefer. अगर जो तुम्हारे जगह मुझे preparation करनी हो, तो I would prefer it. ठीक है? So I would prefer it. Now coming to the next part. and modern Indian history के बाद the next part is the art and culture. Then so as you have seen that कि हर stage of exam में it is very important. Then and in recent past the number of the questions have increased. Then for example that in last 7 years, then so when I look at the number of the questions from the art and culture, it's 24 last 7 years में mains examination में, and number of the questions from modern it is 21. तो modern का थोड़ा कम है, ठीक है, art and culture का बढ़ा दिया है. तो that is obvious because that you all know that when the right side of the government comes, so one of the focus of the government would always be that promotion of the indigenous culture of the area. Then so one way, and you are the one who are going to frame many policy related to the culture of India. Then so in this way there is a as I was talking about Ajit Doval and then other people, there is a one IAS officer who has been chosen by the cultural secretary of the government, and his name I'm forgetting, I think Naveen Das or something is the name. He has a kind of a hell lot of experience in the realm of the culture. So he has recently been chosen to take many initiatives and then decide the things related to the culture. So culture, in a way, you later get to know that culture is one of the very important source of the Indian economy. Okay? One of the very important element of the thriving Indian economy. I'll just add one part of it, that how many people participated in the Mahakumbh or went to Mahakumbh? 65 crore, 67 crore, okay? Almost half the Indians. Then, and when these many people are going to a particular event in 45 days, there is a spending, ठीक है? ऐसा तो है नहीं कि बिना पेट्रोल के चले गए, बिना ट्रेन से चले गए या बिना बाइक से चले गए. You are using the transportation, you are purchasing so many things, food, ठीक है, रहने के लिए. So in a way, some money is coming to the economy, and that money, if it is coming to the economy, that's what we call liquidity. So in the market, liquidity is increasing, and when the liquidity is increasing, so it is leading to the flourishing of the economy. Then, so culture is an element, great element of the Indian economy. So understand. So then, for this subject, there is no particular NCERT. There are two NCERTs which are there in class 11th and 12th, that Introduction to the Fine Art Part 1 and Fine Art Part 2, but they do address only one element. So Fine Art Part 1 only mentions about architecture, and Fine Art Part 2 only mentions about painting. What about the other things related to culture? So what is there in your syllabus? I'll just read. Architecture and sculpture would be there, edicts and inscriptions would be there, pottery, painting, crafts of India, then classical music, classical dance, folk music, okay? Martial art forms, theatre, puppetry, language and literature of India, philosophy of India, Bhakti tradition, Sufi tradition, then and then UNESCO heritage things. Then, so just two parts are mentioned in those NCERTs. It is not enough, and moreover, from those two parts, then not great number of the questions are always there. So that would not be sufficient. Then, so for this section also, you will have to go through the book. Okay? So this is one option before you, that you can go with that My Art and Culture book. Okay? And if you don't want to go through it, so some section of it you will be getting through the आर्य शर्मा, जिसमें थोड़ा बहुत कल्चर का एलिमेंट है, कि एंशियंट की जो बुक पढ़ रहे हो उसमें थोड़ा बहुत लिटिल बिट ऑफ कल्चर यू विल गेट, एंड सो एज इन द सतीश चंद्रा ऑल्सो लिटिल बिट ऑफ कल्चर यू विल गेट, बट देन आई वुड से कि लिटिल बिट, दैट विल कम अराउंड 30 to 40%, नॉट एंटायरली. तो we'll recommend that go with the one book, ठीक है, and just make it one source thing. Then apart from it, for culture, last year itself, okay, it's been time that I was thinking about it, and last year itself I just initiated that my own initiative. So the initiative was that I tried to make culture an interesting thing, okay, and so that it will be kind of entertaining to you also, and you will not tend to forget the things. So I go to the places. I'll just tell you example. I go to the places then, and I cover the culture from the places. Then, so for example, that last 2-3 year paper, prelims and mains examination, there has been constant question from the UNESCO heritage sites, and then one very important place is the Hoysaleshwar temple of Karnataka. Then, so I took the permission of the Karnataka government, and then after I got the permission to get the videograph, the place videographed done, and so as that the detailing of the temple of the Hoysaleshwar from the same location. Last year also there was one question which was Channakeswar temple of the Beluri in Karnataka. Then that question, so that place also I covered with the live videos. Then Similarly, that many other things related to the culture and the modern Indian history, I try to cover it from the live location. And there is a separate channel of mine, okay, that art and culture channel of mine on YouTube, okay. So you can always have a look at my channel, okay, that you can subscribe to it. And जो exam के हिसाब से important है, that you can go with it then. So this is the channel Culture Quantum, and it's mentioned on that. So there are book पे भी मैंने what I have done, that I have kept a specific playlist for you, which is exam specific. So when you're purchasing it, you're just that going through it, so you get those videos. But better would be that see all the videos of it then whenever you get time. So for example, that there are the topics of the modern Indian history also. एक just important part बताऊंगा, that generally जो books तुम पढ़ने जा रहे हो, चाहे वो बिपिन चंद्रा हो या फिर then spectrum हो, the one aspect which is not mentioned in the books is the comparison of the personalities then. And last 10 years में the most difficult topic in the main examination is the comparison of the personality. For example, last year there was a question that Gandhi's comparison with the Rabindranath Tagore on the issues of the education and the nationalism. So this hasn't been mentioned in any of the guidebooks, which I also mentioned to you. So from where you will be covering? इसी type के questions have been asked previously also. Gandhi's and Ambedkar issues, their comparison. Gandhi's and Bosch issues, ठीक है? Then Gandhi is a constant phenomenon, and rest of the places the things are changing. So I started this year only that doing the comparison of the personalities through my channel. And so I have already put some interesting topics also, like that कि Sardar Patel and Gandhi's differences. People generally know they were bonds, they were close to each other, but what were their differences? Then so as Nehru's and Gandhi's differences. Then so these are some of the possible questions which you will see in the mains examination, and this is surely that definitely it will be an advantage to you if you know, because mains examination I have literally seen people leaving or writing anything in those. Then so you'll get an advantage. So you follow it, and with the same name I have a Telegram channel also, जिसमें I would be, so Telegram channel, as you know that how it is written, t.me, okay, and / culture quantum. Then so be the part of it whenever anything important, and culture quantum साथ साथ में लिखना, तो you will get to know it. Then so you can use this resource also for your culture topics. Then so this is what is all about from my side. Now I'm just leaving the things to you कि तुम्हारे end से कोई question है तो let me know, and accordingly फिर उसके बाद then I'll answer, and then I'll pass this particular session to the economics faculty राम सुधीर sir. तो कोई question हो तो बताओ, ठीक है? Just think about it. हाँ पूछो. बैठ जाओ, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, बैठ के पूछो. ठीक है, चलो फाइन. हाँ देखो सिंपल सी बात है. थीम्स इन इंडियन हिस्ट्री पार्ट 1, पार्ट 2 इज एंशिएंट एंड मेडिवल, एंड पार्ट 3 इज मॉडर्न. क्लास 11th की है, 12th की है, ठीक है. वो उसमें कोई बहुत फर्क, मतलब इसमें बहुत मुद्दा नहीं है, ठीक है. वो सिंपली अगर जो ये डालोगे तो मिल जाएगा तुमको, ठीक है. फिर दूसरा बताओ. देखो दिस इज समथिंग विच आई वुड टेल यू कि देखो नोट मेकिंग, कोई और क्वेश्चन है तो एक बार पूछ लो, आई रिप्लाई टू इट ऑल ऑफ इट. चलो ठीक है, आई ट्राई टू एड्रेस, ठीक है, इन अ प्रैक्टिकल वे. तो नोट मेकिंग की जहाँ तक बात है ना, दैट सी the one way people do the note making, that people enroll themselves in the coaching organization, but you will have to be very cautious in this, that not everything which glitters is the gold, then, and not everything which you get in a slash rates. Then for example, that I have seen the advertisement people saying that ki holy sale is going on, ठीक है, जल्दी से admission ले लो. I will never say this thing, because education is not a sale. Then if your advertisement is like sale, so you are considering you guys as just a kind of yeah, obviously rubbish. Then so this is very rubbish. And sale कब लगती है बताओगे मुझे? जब ना माल बिकता नहीं है, हिंदी में बोलूँगा, ठीक है. तो जब माल बिकता नहीं है तो सेल लगती है. तो यू हैव टू बी कॉशियस अबाउट इट. सो व्हेन यू आर एनरोलिंग इन कोचिंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, एंड अच्छे से रिसर्च करके करो, कोई किसी का प्रेशर मत लो, ठीक है. एंड देन देयर यू गेट सम नोट्स. तो उस नोट्स को एक तुम्हें स्ट्रक्चर मिलता है. इट्स नॉट लाइक कि वही पूरा का पूरा एग्जाम में आ जाएगा, ऐसा नहीं होता है कभी भी. तो एक स्ट्रक्चर मिलता है. सो नाउ यू गो विद दैट स्ट्रक्चर, समथिंग यू हैव रेड, देन विद दैट नोट्स यू स्टडी द लास्ट 15 to 20 year paper. Your PYQs last 15 to 20 year paper is the most important thing I would prescribe to you. I would just say one more thing to you कि generally we run after many, ठीक है, that this coaching test series and all that, ठीक है करो, but coaching centers कभी UPSC का एक question paper नहीं बनाते हैं. UPSC का paper UPSC बनाता है, तो you see the UPSC paper. Test दो, but you see the UPSC paper, and on the basis of it, what has been left in the class notes, उसके notes बना लो, ठीक है. That's the note making strategy for all the three. Last में unbeatable जो तुमने बात कही ना, unbeatable comes with your determination. यहाँ पे कोई one sure shot formula नहीं है, ठीक है. It depends on how passionate you are about this exam. जैसे for example I was saying something, sharing with these all people in the beginning जब तुम नहीं आए थे, ठीक है. Story of Ajit Doval, then, and so as that, so story of that Saktikant Das, and so as Mr. S. Jayasankar also. If you look at them, if they are inspiring enough to you, if you have that deeper motivation, if you have that particular kind of determination with you, nobody will stop you. So then, when this exam you are very passionate about, you will not leave any stone unturned. So, unbeatable बनने का यही तरीका है कि बीच में कभी भी होप लूज मत करो, ठीक है. एंड परसीवरेंस, व्हाट इज परसीवरेंस? कंटिन्यूअस एफर्ट. आई जस्ट टेल यू वन पार्ट ऑफ इट, ठीक है. एक मेरा फ्रेंड है जिसका रैंक था 9, ठीक है, वे बैक व्हेन दीज ऑल काइंड ऑफ न्यू स्कीम ऑफ द एग्जामिनेशंस वर देयर. सो फनी इंसिडेंट है, बट देन आई विल टेल यू, ठीक है. So generally, when what happens that when the toppers are there and the interviews are happening, so people will be asking questions to them, ठीक है, कि आप कितना पढ़ते थे, कितना नहीं पढ़ते थे. So they're related to that only. Results came, and those were the days we used to live in the Hodgkars old GNU campus then, and the results came. So it was also the hub of the UPSC preparation. So then we broke the news to him that मतलब just obviously friendship वाला जो slang language होता है उसमें use किया कि that you have got this much. So he was ecstatic. He was happy beyond anything. Obviously anybody would be there. Rank 9 is not a small thing then. And then after, and one of his optional was English literature. तो उस time पे 2 optional होते थे. So then it was all like that. So we friends were like कि अब तो party अच्छी मिलनी चाहिए, ठीक है. Nothing less than the 5-star property. We need a party. Everything. So then all the planning was happening. But then all of a sudden he says कि भाई चलो चलते हैं UPSC. So we said why UPSC? So he said that I want to see my result over there. So those were the days that result UPSC website पे release होने से पहले there is a notice corner in UPSC, and on that notice the result is pasted. Then so he wanted to see in it. We were like चलो चलते हैं, ठीक है. So we all went over there, and that red velvet color notice corner, and then the results are published, and then he is trying to figure out his name, ठीक है, and as if that he hasn't seen his result, and then after finding his name in 9th number, and then after he is acting, फिर से दोबारा से ecstatic, just like कि पहली बार किसी ने बताया कि तुम्हारा 9th रैंक है, रोना धोना सब स्टार्ट हो गया. So he is crying, shouting, ठीक है, everything he is doing, and then looking at it, so there were many media walas, and they all came to that place that, sir, what rank you have got? He said that 9th rank. I can't believe my eyes. Then everything जितना आ सकता है अंग्रेजी में सब दे दिया, ठीक है. Then after what has happened? So we were like कि we 6 friends were there. We were like कि हमारे मुंह खुले के खुले हैं, मक्खी आके निकल भी गई कि ये क्या कर रहा है. So then one of the that media वाला, he asked him, सर आप कितने घंटे पढ़ते थे? तो ही वॉज लाइक 15 घंटे लगातार. एंड वी वेर सॉक्ड. देन तो एक दोस्त कह रहा है कि आई वुड यूज दैट वर्ड बट किसी और में, कमीना 4 घंटे से ज़्यादा नहीं पढ़ता है. सो दिस इज वॉट ही यूज. एंड देन सो मीडिया वाले दोस्त ऐसे ही मजाक करते हैं, ठीक है. बट द रियलिटी वॉज ही नेवर स्टडीड बियॉन्ड 5 hours. देन दैट वॉज द ट्रुथ. he said an ideal thing on the news media कि 15 घंटे पढ़ते. It is not possible. He studied only 5 hours. But the good thing about him, 5 hours daily. ठीक है? There was no change in his that particular schedule. So he is meeting us only after completing his studies. Then, so what is it? This is perseverance. In this exam, what is required is perseverance. बहुत खराब भी mental phase में होना, तो भी इस चीज को मत जाने दो कि आज का तो जो शेड्यूल है वो करके रहूंगा. ठीक है? सो दैट काउंट्स इन दिस एग्जाम, दो इट इज नॉट द मोस्ट डिफिकल्ट एग्जाम, बट दिस एग्जाम इज द मोस्ट दैट एग्जाम विच इज डिमांडिंग. हार्ड वर्क यहाँ पे काउंट करता है, तो दैट व्हाट मेक्स यू अनबीटेबल. बाकी तो सब्जेक्ट्स और बाकी चीज़ें जब ये डिटर्मिनेशन होता है तो अपने आप हो जाते हैं. ठीक है? यस प्लीज. हाँ बिल्कुल. हाँ एनसीईआरटीज हमने भी बात की है. नहीं, मैं कभी ये रिकमेंड नहीं करूँगा. जैसे मैं बहुत सिंपल सी बात बोलूँगा, कौन किस ईयर का टॉपर था. ठीक है? बहुत बार चीज़ें क्या होती हैं कि जब ऑनलाइन बोली जाती हैं तो आइडियल बोली जाती हैं. ठीक है? जब किसी से पर्सनली मिलते हो ना तो चीज़ें चेंज हो जाती हैं. तो आइडियल और प्रैक्टिकल में बहुत डिफरेंस है. एंड दूसरा एक और बहुत खुल के बोलूँगा. ठीक है? 6th to 7th एनसीईआरटी जो हमारे यहाँ पॉपुलर थी वो थी रोमिला थापर की. सी इज़ अ क्वाइट अ लेफ्टिस्ट हिस्टोरियन. देन एंड देन आई होप कि कुछ लोगों ने नाम सुना होगा. ठीक है? तो वट एवर बी हर वर्जन, सी इज़ वेरी क्रिटिकल टू द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ द डे. सी इज़ वेरी क्रिटिकल टू द प्रोसेसेस डन. डू यू थिंक दैट एवर गवर्नमेंट विल टच हर एनसीईआरटी? नो. तो एंड मोर ओवर 6th to 7th एनसीईआरटीज़ में नए वाले में इंफॉर्मेशन कम. ठीक है? एक बार खुद उलट के देखना कि इंफॉर्मेशन कम. ठीक है? कॉग्निटिव एबिलिटीज़ ज़्यादा दी हुई हैं. पुरानी एनसीईआरटीज़ में जो 6th में कवर करते हो वो एक तरह से क्या होता है ना कि जब 12th का कवर करते हो तो ज़्यादा कवरेज होता है. आई विल जस्ट टेल यू विथ योर एग्जाम्पल. When you start with class 6, we start studying optics from class 6, 7th, 8th. Physics की बात कर रहा हूँ. Little bit of optics we read, but what is the best part of the where we understand the optics? Class 11th and 12th, because it is more elaborated way. So see that is a classroom learning. That's for the student to have little bit of knowledge of the optics, so that in class 11th and 12th the broader perspective is given to them, so they are able to understand. So the same logic I am telling to you. ठीक है? It will be कहने के लिए लोग तो कह देते हैं. ठीक है? बट होता नहीं है ऐसा. तो स्टिक विद दिस ओनली, स्टिक विथ लेस नंबर ऑफ द. एंड मैंने जो बोला ना कि कॉस्ट बेनिफिट एनालिसिस जरूर करो. ठीक है? 2 क्वेश्चन के लिए 2500 पेजेस पढ़ना कहीं से भी दैट आई वुड नॉट से इंटेलिजेंट स्टेप. इट विल बी बेवकूफ़ी. ठीक है? तो बी स्मार्ट इन दिस एग्जाम इज मोर अबाउट स्मार्ट एंड नॉट जस्ट लिसनिंग टू द अदर्स. When you start this preparation, now you yourself start to get insights. Your mind is a beautiful device. And इस एग्ज़ाम में मैटर ही नहीं करता है कि you are a mechanical engineer or you are a humanities background. I'll tell you something. I'm teacher of history, but my post graduation is chemistry. There is no link between it. And I got the highest in the history. तो no link between it. तो जब हम इस प्रिपरेशन में आते हैं ना तो हमारा नॉलेज का स्फेयर भी बढ़ता है और उसके अलावा ठीक है हम बहुत कुछ नया गेन करते हैं. तो कंसिडर इट इन दिस वे. ठीक है? एनी अदर क्वेश्चन? क्योंकि मैंने अपना टाइम थोड़ा सा बढ़ा दिया है तो आई थिंक दूसरी फैकल्टी का टाइम ये हो जाएगा. तो लेट इकोनॉमिक्स फैकल्टी कम. ठीक है? एंड मैं किताबें रखवा देता हूँ यहाँ पे, तो तुम लोग देख लेना. अब बाद में मेरे से पूछ लेना. ठीक है? ठीक है? तो क्योंकि एक स्टिपुलेटेड टाइम था मेरा 11:45 तक था, तो इट्स ऑलरेडी 12:06:17. ठीक है? तो बेस्ट ऑफ लक टू ऑल ऑफ यू एंड बी कनेक्टेड टू द चैनल. यू विल फाइंड सो मेनी थिंग्स इवन इफ यू आर नॉट डूइंग एनी क्लास और समथिंग, बट देन you will find something important for you. Just one last thing I'll tell you. I also, that on basis of my own experience, I do predict some topics of the exams. Then last 3 videos किए थे, and ancient का, medieval का, and then modern का. तो from that questions 1.5 घंटे के videos थे, आधे घंटे के. Whatever I predicted from that, out of total 14 questions, 7 questions were there from my predicted topics. So that I will do this year also, but this is what I do on the basis of my own analysis, which I post on my channel. ठीक है? तो चलो, best of luck to all of you. Then, very thank you.